Section the 17th. No one attains transcendental wisdom. At that time, Subhuti addressed Buddha, saying, World-honored one, if good men and good women seek the consummation of incomparable enlightenment, by what criteria should they abide and how should they control their thoughts? Buddha replied to Subhuti, good men and good women seeking the consummation of incomparable enlightenment must create this resolved attitude of mind. I must liberate all living beings, yet when all have been liberated, verily not any one is liberated. Wherefore, if a bodhisattva cherishes the idea of an ego entity, a personality, a being, or a separated individuality, he is consequently not a bodhisattva, Subhuti. This is because in reality there is no formula which gives rise to the consummation of incomparable enlightenment. Subhuti, what do you think? When the Tathagata was with Dipankara Buddha, was there any formula for the attainment of the consummation of incomparable enlightenment? No, world-honored one, as I understand Buddha's meaning, there was no formula by which the Tathagata attained the consummation of incomparable enlightenment. Buddha said, you are right, Subhuti. Verily there was no formula by which the Tathagata attained the consummation of incomparable enlightenment. Subhuti, had there been any such formula, Dipankara Buddha would not have predicted concerning me. In the ages of the future you will come to be a Buddha called Shakyamuni. But Dipankara Buddha made that prediction concerning me because there is actually no formula for the attainment of the consummation of incomparable enlightenment. The reason herein is that Tathagata is a signification implying all formulas. In case anyone says that the Tathagata attained the consummation of incomparable enlightenment, I tell you truly, Subhuti, that there is no formula by which the Buddha attained it. Subhuti, the basis of Tathagata's attainment of the consummation of incomparable enlightenment is wholly beyond. It is neither real nor unreal. Hence I say that the whole realm of formulations is not really such, therefore it is called realm of formulations. Subhuti, a comparison may be made with the idea of a gigantic human frame. Then Subhuti said, the world-honored one has declared that such is not a great body. A great body is just the name given to it. Subhuti, it is the same concerning bodhisattvas. If a bodhisattva announces, I will liberate all living creatures, he is not rightly called a bodhisattva. Wherefore? Because, Subhuti, there is really no such condition as that called bodhisattvaship. Because Buddha teaches that all things are devoid of selfhood, devoid of separate individuality. Subhuti, if a bodhisattva announces, I will set forth majestic Buddha lands, one does not call him a bodhisattva, because the Tathagata has declared that the setting forth of majestic Buddha lands is not really such. A majestic setting forth is just the name given to it. Subhuti, bodhisattvas who are wholly devoid of any conception of separate selfhood are truthfully called bodhisattvas. Section the 18th. All modes of mind are really only mind. Subhuti, what do you think? Does the Tathagata possess the human eye? Yes, world-honored one, he does. Well, do you think the Tathagata possesses the divine eye? Yes, world-honored one, he does. And do you think the Tathagata possesses the Gnostic eye? Yes, world-honored one, he does. And do you think the Tathagata possesses the eye of transcendent wisdom? Yes, world-honored one, he does. And do you think the Tathagata possesses the Buddha eye of omniscience? Yes, world-honored one, he does. Subhuti, what do you think? Concerning the sand grains of the Ganges, has the Buddha taught about them? Yes, world-honored one, the Tathagata has taught concerning these grains. Well, Subhuti, if there were as many Ganges rivers as the sand grains of the Ganges, and there was a Buddha land for each sand grain in all, those Ganges rivers, would those Buddha lands be many? Subhuti replied, many indeed, world-honored one. Then Buddha said, Subhuti, however many living beings there are in all those Buddha lands, though they have manifold modes of mind, the Tathagata understands them all. Wherefore? Because the Tathagata teaches that all these are not mind, they are merely called mind. Subhuti, it is impossible to retain past mind, impossible to hold on to present mind, and impossible to grasp future mind. Section the 19th. Absolute reality is the only foundation. Subhuti, what do you think? If anyone filled 3,000 galaxies of worlds with the 7 treasures and gave all away in gifts of alms, would he gain great merit? Yes, indeed, world-honored one, he would gain great merit. Subhuti, if such merit was real, the Tathagata would not have declared it to be great. But because it is without a foundation, the Tathagata characterized it as great. Section the 20th. The unreality of phenomenal distinctions. Subhuti, what do you think? Can the Buddha be perceived by his perfectly formed body? No, world-honored one. The Tathagata cannot be perceived by his perfectly formed body, because the Tathagata teaches that a perfectly formed body is not really such, it is merely called a perfectly formed body. Subhuti, what do you think? Can the Tathagata be perceived by means of any phenomenal characteristic? No, world-honored one. The Tathagata may not be perceived by any phenomenal characteristic. Because the Tathagata teaches that phenomenal characteristics are not really such, they are merely termed phenomenal characteristics. Section the 21st. Words cannot express truth. That which words express is not truth. Subhuti, do not say that the Tathagata conceives the idea, I must set forth a teaching. For if anyone says that the Tathagata sets forth a teaching, he really slanders Buddha and is unable to explain what I teach. As to any truth-declaring system, truth is undeclarable. So, an enunciation of truth is just the name given to it. Thereupon, Subhuti spoke these words to Buddha, world-honored one. In the ages of the future, will there be men coming to hear a declaration of this teaching who will be inspired with belief? And Buddha answered, Subhuti, those to whom you refer are neither living beings nor not living beings. Wherefore? Because living beings. Subhuti, these living beings are not really such, they are just called by that name.